Welcome back, everybody. There's a new restaurant on the block, and it might be a good choice if you're looking for a romantic Valentine's Day with your sweetheart. Here to tell us more about Serenade is Chef de Cuisine Johnny Ray Steinbow. Johnny Ray, good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
You just have such a delightful name. It's very fun for me to say. Chef Johnny Ray, tell us about Serenade and the vibe of the place. You guys have only been open a couple months.
Yeah, so Serenade, we're looking at a French kind of Texas fusion. You know, the
Appropriate with your chef whites and your cowboy hat.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. You know, the environment itself is a very airy, light environment. You know, we are really capturing the natural light that comes in from our windows. A lot of bright colors, you know, very inviting. And then at night, you know, it kind of dims down a little bit, you know, and more of that, you know, the kind of that romantic kind of feel.
Wonderful. And folks can find it inside a hotel, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I feel like that's always important information to know.
Absolutely. We're inside the W Hotel.
Okay. All right. Are you guys on the bottom floor? Or are you?
Yes, first floor.
First floor.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you don't have to like magically hit the number 7, and that's a secret thing everybody knows.
No, we have our own entrance.
Okay.
And that was one thing that when they were designing the renovation was to have Serenade almost as a standalone, you know, restaurant.
Gotcha. Well, that's really cool. Okay, talk to me about what we can find on the menu. We've got some gorgeous pictures of dishes that y'all have created. What's kind of the vibe there?
So the vibe, you know, we're really looking to bring that French, you know, Texas fusion. Looking at our all-day menu, we have a whipped chev spread appetizer. So it's basically a whipped goat cheese that we fold in with an onion oil. We top that with cured tomatoes, fried garlic, and a little local honey.
Okay,
And then
now you're talking my language.
Yes, and then the bread that we accompany that with is a Texas fougasse. Fougasse is a French flatbread, if you will. But when you look
It's
at
got
it,
cuts in it.
Yes.
I know this from watching the baking show,
Yes.
the British baking show
absolutely.
too much. Yeah.
Well, the fougasse that we are producing is more of almost of a tortilla, bringing that kind of Texas Southern flair to it.
okay.
You know, so classic, you know, kind of French flatbread, but giving that Texas kind of tortilla kind of twist to it.
Oh, I like that a lot. And I'm seeing a lot of nice little small bites, things like that. Is it a lot of small bites, or do you guys also have some of those bigger plates?
So we do have bigger plates. So on our dinner side, we have something, you know, I think our signature dish would be our duck confit. Something we're really proud about. We've been getting a lot of compliments on that. And then
Hard to get duck just right, so that's impressive.
you know, we spent a lot of time in the R&D phase with that just to get it right. Have gotten a lot of compliments, like I said, from, you know, people who have traveled from France, people who've lived in France and said, you know, that this is one of the best duck confits that we've had. You know, so we're really, you know, really proud about that. Yes, absolutely, pat on the back. On our larger options, we have a whole red snapper, roast red snapper, and a 40-ounce tomahawk ribeye.
Okay.
So
those are Texas.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I love it. Okay, we are going to do something a little on the Frenchy side today. We've got scallops that you're putting together as a dish. You've been heating up some oil. Just tell me where you've started.
Yeah, so heating up the oil in the pan just to get this nice and hot.
And are we talking about olive oil? What kind of oil
Yes,
do
so
you
this
use?
isn't olive oil, a local olive oil coming from the Texas Olive Oil Ranch. And then I'm going to get this, you know, nice and hot, get a nice sear going on. And then as this is going on the flip, I will mount that with butter, and then I will be basting the scallops to give it a nice crust.
Ooh, lovely. Okay, and this is a good example of the finished dish.
Yes, ma'am.
You guys know how to make something, you know, the eat with your eyes first version.
Absolutely.
You told me about some of these mushrooms that I can see. I see golden beets. I see like regular colored beets. I'm a
Yes,
big beet
ma'am.
fan.
Love that.
How about mushrooms? Tell me about those.
So these mushrooms are maitakes. We're, you know, really excited about, you know, wild mushrooms, you know, bringing in, you know, different things. You know, as we move into the spring season, we're going to be looking to switch to those. But these are, like I said, the maitakes. And so we saute these first, and then we will do a slight fry just to give a nice crunchy outside, but soft texture on the inside.
What does a maitake mushroom taste like? Because sometimes it can have more of a sea type flavor.
I would say in between that earthy and almost meaty flavor.
Ah, okay.
Absolutely.
Umami, I'm sure, is
Yes,
the word
ma'am.
that we're going to be using.
Yes,
okay, all right. While those scallops are heating up, I want to ask a little bit more about your Valentine's Day prefix, because this is the time where a lot of people start realizing, February is right around the corner,
Absolutely.
and it's a Friday this year, so
Yes.
people are going to be getting spots quickly. Tell
Yes.
me a little bit about what you're offering.
So we're offering a 3-course prefix menu. 2 of the starters that we're doing, or one of the starters rather, is a hamachi crudo that we're doing with the rose water, avocado, and chili oil. Very beautiful plate. We're really excited for people to see that. Moving into our entrees, obviously, our scallops here. We're also going to be having a short rib offering and then a cauliflower steak.
I talk about my new husband a lot on this show. Hamachi crudo is literally top 3, one of his very favorite foods on this planet.
Well, then it sounds
we might have
like-
to switch.
I was about to say, well, I mean, it sounds like he needs to come and take you and bring you in for a restaurant.
Yeah, take me out on a date. That's exactly right.
Yes.
Okay, and then what's the third course?
So the third course are going to be our 2 desserts. One is going to be a white chocolate mousse designed by one of our pastry chefs. Very talented. We're really excited. I don't want to get too much into details because there's a nice surprise behind that.
Oh.
So I will let the guests, kind of experience that as they come in. But expecting a lot of bright colors, Valentine's Day, rose, red, so all the beautiful colors like that.
Okay, that sounds good. And there will be a second dessert option as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
all
ma'am.
right. He's giving me a lot of you got to show up to try it kind of
Exactly.
thing. All right, we're going to have to wrap things up here, but just real quickly, the carb loading dinner looks so fun and funny.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So the carb loading dinner is going to be our house-made gnocchi that we're going to be finishing with a smoked duck breast, wild mushrooms. That with those we're actually going to be using oyster mushrooms. So
Lovely.
here are the maitakes. We'll be using oysters, and then we'll finish that with a cherry tomato beurre blanc.
Oh, sounds good to me, and it'll get you ready for the ATX marathon. We really appreciate it,
Yes,
Chef.
yes, yes.
Thank you. All right, learn more and get your reservations now at serenadeaustin.com.